Well, hello. This might be the last time we bring up what episode number it is, but it's episode 10. Double digits.
We're in the double digits, baby.
Where's the confetti drop? Anybody?
We didn't come prepared
Bam.
for the 10.
What we did come prepared with a babedacious guest, Sam friggin' Kogon. Am I saying that wrong or right?
You said it right. Kogon. Yeah.
Kogon.
Yeah.
The second Sam we've had on the podcast.
Wow.
Another Sam. And we're not going to make you guys fight to the death or anything. We love you both equally.
We're both Sam number one.
Yeah. You got one and then 1A or something.
Okay.
Well, let's not even like
one
split hairs.
and one.
Yeah,
one and one.
Because then 1A and 1B, then there's still a hierarchy there.
Okay.
So it really doesn't solve the issue.
So I'm just making already a problem, more of a bigger problem.
You are. Look
Perfect.
at you.
Look at me. I love drama. I can't get enough of it. I want to eat
Your
it
little
up.
pearl necklace.
So, yeah. Do you like?
I love.
Well, speaking of love, I love your fit. You're looking so
Thank you so
friggin'
much.
dapper.
Thank you so much.
It was a little bit of a chilly day here in LA today, which was
Yeah, it was a little
Brisk.
Yeah, it's a little brisk. That's why I'm in the sweatsuit.
Yeah.
But Sam's used to this. He's from New York City, baby.
Yeah.
Coast,
Yeah.
baby.
Guilty. Maybe not for much longer, but
We heard a little bird told us that you might be moving to our neck of the woods.
it's looking like possibly.
Fingers crossed.
What's that when you shake the magic 8-ball? It's like looking. What is it? There's like
Maybe.
Well, yeah. That's the
Well,
word.
it's a maybe. We're like, if I can find a nice place in WeHo or Highland Park,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, then
Yeah.
hopefully the 8-ball says something good like that.
And I have been lucking out, so it's been too good.
It's exciting.
It's nice when you get the ball rolling on like a big move or something like that, and like doors are opening at the right times, and you're
Yeah.
like, maybe I'm going in the right direction, baby.
Say what you will about this. I just had a Lyft ride, not here, but this was going out the other night, and almost to the end of the ride, 5 minutes though before the ride ends. The lady who's driving me, super nice lady. Her name is Celeste. I remember it.
Nice.
Picked me up in a
Sweet.
minivan, and she just says out of nowhere, she's like, good man, like good. Like, and I was like, what? Did you say goodbye? I was like thinking, okay, the trip's not done yet, but I was like, okay, bye.
She was like, we're gonna do a rolling stop here, and you're gonna exit the
I was
vehicle.
like, wait, what's
happening?
What's happening? And then she starts to say like, she just says out of nowhere, like, this is a good transition for your life. Like,
Stop
she
it.
knows nothing about me. Maybe she says this to everybody. I gave her a great tip.
I was literally about to ask you how big was that tip that you gave her. Like,
know.
you probably felt so good.
I did.
Who needs an 8-ball when you have Lyft driver Celeste
Yes.
to affirm you?
Yeah.
Shout out to her, man.
Yeah, wherever you are, Celeste.
Seriously, I want her as my driver every day. I just want to feel better about my miserable life.
And I believed her. I was into it. So yeah.
Very cool.
What did spark the idea to come? Was it like a creative energy shift, or was it because of the weather? Was it because just
All of that.
All of it.
All of it. Escaped New York for a little bit. I've been here not enough. Like I've just only been out to LA for tour. And I always wanted to spend more time here. I love it. I love the energy. Everybody I meet is super nice.
Well, if you need a couple chaperones, we're right here for you, man.
I love chaperones. I need some chaperones.
It's nice to have an extra pair of eyes on you to make sure you don't mess up your entire life. I wish I had more of them.
Yeah. Well, okay. Good to know.
There we go. We got each other's
guardian
backs.
angels here.
Well, welcome to the pod, Breaking Waves. I'm Man Dan with my beautiful co-host.
Daddy Disco, DeVaughn Taylor.
And we already
At the
introduced
service.
our beautiful Sam Kogon.
Yeah.
It's all too beautiful.
Tell us about, we're really excited about this. You just released a new single or a whole new EP. What happened recently?
Yeah. So single Barbed Wire, which is from my forthcoming.
Ooh.
Yeah. Barbed Wire. That's quite the image, I know.
It's scary. Usually barbed wire like keeps people out or keeps things in. Are we
Yes.
releasing something?
Well, yes, all of that. It's like we're releasing Barbed Wire
Oh, I love that. Okay, good. So you can listen to it now, right?
and getting released from the barbed wire that holds us. And it's
Spiritually. Yeah.
It's totally true. And so that's the first single off of this new EP I just recorded with John Agnello, pre-COVID, but it's finally seeing the light of day. And the rest of the songs will be making their way, and the whole EP drops April 1st.
Very, very cool. Well,
Super.
congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
And listening in, like, to some of the tracks, like, you very much look the way that your music sounds. I think that's like a really like.
I love when
important
someone
thing to
looks
do.
the way
Yeah.
they're supposed to when you hear them. You know, you hear some people and they're like, "Who is this crazy person that I didn't think was going to look like that?"
You know, thank you for saying that. And, you know, you guys also, I think, play the part perfectly. So I just want to
always been a
say
character.
that. Yeah.
But-
I'm just sick of seeing guys who are amazing musicians, girls too, but usually the guys, let's be honest, nowadays it's the t-shirt, it's the hat, it's the Vans, and it's like you guys could do better.
Sam just described the outfit I was wearing 20 minutes ago. Yeah, so that's perfect. Thanks for that.
But people aren't paying to see you yet. But you know,
Yes.
but I guess people don't care, but I do. You know.
yeah.
No, it's a whole presentation, you know, presenting yourself as an artist is beyond the music, and especially in, you know, today's social media age and stuff, everything is so visual, you know.
It is, you know.
You're playing a part, right? You're like, it's like you're a character, and you gotta wear that. What is it, like a Ken doll? Because you kind of look like one because you're so pretty.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like you gotta put on your little
Stop
outfit
it.
and your tap shoes and go out and dance.
You do. You have to perform, you know. You're in the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
and it's like
You're
people
kind of selling a little piece of yourself, right? Everyone gets to get to know a little bit of you.
Yeah, and it's interesting putting yourself out there, you know. It's like when you're sitting on songs and you're not sharing them with people, they're yours, and then when you put them out, they're no longer yours. It's a whole
That's
whole
crazy
different
to
thing.
think about. Yeah, that's a cool little
Yeah.
analogy.
Yeah, so but yeah, Barbed Wire, I'm really excited to get that one out there. It's sort of like my anthem to like lovers that never were, unrequited love, like, you know,
So a little love anthem. Okay, very
Kinda.
cool.
love-ish.
Well,
yeah.
me and Dev always said it makes the best songs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it's too easy to, you know, make songs about something that, you know, is such a very specific and strong feeling.
Yeah.
But it sounds interesting, like that way whenever you kind of think about like a person and it maybe was really nice and it was really good, but just for like whatever reason it didn't work out. Like it doesn't always have to be heartbreak all the time, you know? And
Right.
there can be just be like, oh, you know, that was nice, and like I didn't have to like get my soul crushed for that to end.
Yeah.
You know?
Or sometimes your soul is crushed, but you still have to keep moving forward.
Well, usually when my soul gets crushed, I get nothing out of it. You know what I mean? But so at least you get a song out of it. Like you start making
Well
some
said.
tunes and go on tour. So.
Well said, and that's a good reminder, Dan. Yeah, it's like if nothing else, you could get a
I'm a
song
glass
out of
half full kind of guy.
it. I like that. I love that. Yeah.
So it's been a few years between the projects. So what is something different
Yeah.
about this one coming up compared to your previous work?
Well, definitely the amount of time between releases is a big difference.
It's been too much time for me personally.
Yeah.
So I'm glad something's coming out. It
Yeah.
has come out. Yeah.
Yeah, likewise. So that's really exciting for me. The way this all happened was also different between my last couple of releases. This came out of nowhere. This came out of an acting job I got. I got asked to be in The Irishman. You might have heard of that movie.
Yeah, I think I heard about that one.
Have we heard about The Irishman?
Yeah. It was a wild thing. And I'm a featured extra, but I'm playing guitar behind Little Steven, my guru, my idol, guitar god.
Dude,
and
that's
also
what's
his
up.
radio show is amazing on Sirius.
That's
XM.
badass. Was that bar scene where it's like De Niro's in there, Pesci's in there, it's
yes,
everybody,
It's
right?
got Keitel, it's got Pesci, it's got De Niro, it's got Pacino.
Did you say hi to any of those fools?
Some of them were very cool. And
Nice.
yeah, I was backstage in the green room with like Ray Romano and Anna Paquin, and they're all chill. Like they couldn't be nicer.
They all had to take a nap at 2 p.m. because they
We were
were
playing,
after
like,
lunch. They were hungry,
Literally
just
playing
tired.
apples to apples. Like, yeah, it was such a great
Well,
great thing.
playing apples to apples would have been more entertaining than watching that actual movie.
For 3, yeah.
Yeah,
It's long.
it's too long. Yeah, I had to watch it like 16 parts. It was
I
like,
know.
what's the hell is going on?
I know. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful film, though.
So pretty to look at. Yeah.
But so while I'm on set, a lot of things are tying together. Like, little Steven, for one, he's somebody that turned me on to this band, The Left Bank, that I'm affiliated with. The first time I ever heard them was on his radio show. So, of course, I had to gush to him eventually at a certain point.
Right.
You know, he's sitting down, I'm sitting down, I'm like, can I talk to you? And he's like, yeah, sure. So, you know, I gush. That's great. That's all fine and done. And then he goes off, the shoot's almost ending, and I'm becoming buds with the music supervision team, and one of the music producers is on set, this guy Stuart Lerman, and we just start talking because I'm a young Jewish guy, he's an old Jewish guy, and I'm like an old Jewish guy.
He has a little bit of wisdom to depart on, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And tell you his favorite bagel shop.
He does, yeah. So I can talk to the cows come home. He also likes The Left Bank, so that comes up, and a couple months go by. I figure, okay, the shoot ends. It was the best time of my life. I should be happy with that.
It's time to text this dude, right? It's like, when's the right time to text? It turns out it was now.
It was, yeah. So months go by. I get his email address. I just sent him a note. I'm like, hey, remember me? We had a great time. And I sent him some demos. And he writes me back, and he's like, these are great. Like, you don't usually hear this kind of sound. And I guess he really resonated with the voice. So he teamed me up with his longtime friend, and they also have a very similar podcast, you guys, the Gear Club podcast, and it's
boo. No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's awesome.
No, it's cool.
Competition.
It's cool. It's cool.
Them.
And his name is John Agnello, and he's a music producer, and he's done amazing work with like Dinosaur Jr., Kurt Vile.
Oh, fun.
I mean, the list goes on, but Sam Kogon now. So
Let's add that. Can we move that name to the top of that list? Because I hate all those other
It's an
bands that you just
eclectic
mentioned.
list right there.
It's a good list.
But John and I hit it off, and we tried. The first song we did together was "Barbed Wire," and that was one day of tracking on that song.
Wow.
Yeah, one afternoon came together. I brought in my band, tracked most of it live. Then did
That's
some-
kind of special, man. That's a really
Yeah.
cool memory.
It was, and that song we were like, okay. He was like, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We're like, all right, let's
Everyone's saying okay.
Yeah, let's do a
love
record.
this.
So that's how this record came out, and that's how the whole behind the scenes story of that.
I love a little peek, man. I love a peek behind the curtain. So I'm
Yeah.
so excited for this April. So everyone mark that April 4th.
First.
Yeah. Hells yeah. All right.
Is that April Fool's Day?
Hey,
I
we're
know.
not fooling you. It is actually coming out on
It
April
is.
1st.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the album?
It's just going to be Sam Kogon Extended Play EP.
Guess what? That's going to be on constant play on my Spotify. I'm never going to stop ever.
You're sweet.
Well, very, very fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of your sound and kind of where you all came from, like your music upbringing, you grew up Hudson Valley, and that's outside of New York, outside of Albany or something. What's the vibe?
You're kind of right dab in the middle between New York and Albany is the
Gotcha.
Hudson Valley. And it was a beautiful place to grow up.
I did a little stalking of you, and I did
you?
some look at some
Did
Google
you?
Earth photos, and it looks gorgeous. I'm telling you.
You saw me on Google Earth?
Gorge. He has a great gorge. No, but like a gorge, like it's like there's water, there's trees everywhere. It's lush.
Yeah,
it looked
it's
beautiful.
Sounds like you'd like the Midwest too. You haven't seen enough woods out here, like enough good.
Yeah, you
woods
just have
with
the
a nice
desert.
creek.
Guys, I'm a
You got
tree
cactus.
lover. I'll literally just like go on a walk and
The
look at
redwoods.
that bush. Look
Yeah.
at that succulent just all day. I love it.
Yeah, so it is very scenic. It's beautiful. I grew up near the towns of that are a little more artistically known, like Woodstock and Hudson, and Kingston is where my family's
Well, ding,
from.
ding, ding. Woodstock will be a red flag for everybody there. That's
Yeah.
kind of wild.
Yeah.
Were your parents really into the scene? Are they musical? Like, what
So,
kind of shaped your early...
My parents directly have great music taste. They're not players themselves, but music runs in my family. Like on my dad's side,
Awesome.
My grandpa was a drummer in the
They
50s.
say it skips a generation. So yeah,
It does.
you got it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I think it does. And yeah, so long line of musicians. We had a pawn shop in our family.
You had a pawn shop?
Yeah, it's actually so in the music video for Barbed Wire.
Stop.
Sadly, the store closed due to gentrification of the area. It's in Kingston, New York. And since COVID, Kingston has just turned into like people from New York's playground, and
Wow.
a lot of local businesses, a lot of shop. We didn't ever own the building.
gotten gobbled up, yeah.
Yeah, so rent gets increased. The deal. But in any case, right before the store closed, I got to go in there with my good friend Jeffrey Mertz, who is an amazing. He's more of a documentary science filmmaker, but he does do great music videos. And with one, I think similar cameras that we're shooting on, we made the whole video. And in the pawn shop, I'm playing my dad, and he's himself. So there's like a flashback sequence.
Oh, that's fun. Really cool.
And he's going in to get a guitar that he never was able to purchase when he was like
Whoa,
young.
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
yeah,
save some for the
yeah,
audience,
yeah.
man. But that's so freaking cool that you're able to do that.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Kingston then?
Yeah, right around there.
Awesome.
Across the river is really the town. Rhinebeck.
When did you first pick up, start playing piano, guitar? What was that kind of?
I was 5, and I started with the violin because I was really into Tchaikovsky. I loved classical music. My mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" But I loved it.
Yeah, I was like, Tchaikovsky.
You get your base for like theory though whenever
Totally.
you're doing that kind of stuff. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
early.
Yes, totally. So I learned Suzuki method, and that's like really all about the ears, and so that really kind of set me up for my musical abilities. And then guitar started at 8, and with the pawn shop being in my family, instruments were like
They were just
In
your
and out of the store,
fingertips.
every week there's a
accessible.
new one.
It was so accessible, yeah. And not everything was pawned. Like we also sold things too, so it wasn't all.
Yeah, I'm sure,
wasn't all-
Sam. Yeah, likely story.
It wasn't all sob stories, and
you stole like Uncle Gary's violin and
but like
broke a couple fingers.
no, but it's like the store and hearing the stories about some of the people who did use that side of the store. It's it's real life, and it's interesting, and it's a part
Talk
of
about a cast of characters.
Feels
Totally.
very cinematic.
It
Like,
is.
Your family owns the
Seriously,
shop,
like-
and then you walk in, and then there's the magical guitar
Yes.
that's glowing.
Yeah.
And it calls out.
That's
to, like,
yes, yeah.
That paid for
Love it.
Thomas Anderson's new kidney down the road. Yeah,
Maybe.
perfect. So was music even at a young age, like this is all I want to do? I want to be a musician. I want
Yes.
to work in the music industry
Yes.
from a young age.
Yeah.
What a blessing, and maybe also a curse
Yes.
to have. Like, hey, I know what I want to do. Like,
Yeah.
like at a young age, but also like it's a hard thing to grasp onto and actually get right.
It is, unless you're totally just there mentally and you're like, this is what I'm doing, and
Nothing's gonna stop me.
Nothing's gonna stop me. And my parents are were and still are
You need that. That's so important.
so supportive. Then they realized, like in college, I was studying environmental science, but I was still like, I had a band, I was recording, and like, I think it was like encouraging me. And then at a certain point, they're like, oh shit, okay, well, I guess
This is what he really wants to do.
he's
We
gonna be a
shouldn't stop him.
musician. Yeah.
Is
And
that where the radio stuff came in?
that's
as well, in
right. Yeah,
college?
yeah, good. Yeah, I did get my first radio show on WERW, Real College Radio,
So
Syracuse.
this is a dream of mine. I've always wanted to be a radio jock DJ.
yes,
Like
you're a shock jock.
a shock jock.
You are. You have
welcome
the vibe.
to 98.5
Oh my God.
Rock FM
You gotta-
with Frankie and the Beans.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are we doing today?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I want it so bad, man.
Got the voice down already.
I want it more than anything in the world. How did you get into that? You're like, hey, I need an odd job and my voice is sexy.
I wanted to basically, it was a weird school. I went to this environmental science school, State University of New York, Environmental Science and Forestry, longest title ever.
Wow, you just bored me to tears. What happened?
I know,
No, I'm kidding.
I know. But it was on the same campus as Syracuse University, the private school.
Oh, cute.
And they had recording studios, they had radio stations, so I could actually go as a student and sign up. And I got involved in the radio station, had a show all 4 years. I got to interview like my gods. I got my first ever interview was with Yoko Ono.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, and that was just me. That was me reaching out to her publicist.
Did you tell her that she sucks?
No, I told
I'm kidding.
I love her. I love her. And that was me reaching out to her publicist, who's now my publicist, and it's like a whole tables
so
have turned.
cool.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But no, that was the thing that started it all. And after Yoko, I was able to speak with like a lot of these other 60s.
That probably opened a couple of doors.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because she's like, hey, interview my friends or do this. Like, this kid's a nice kid. Like,
Yeah. Well, even, I mean, she may have, but at the very least, me just telling people like, hey, I just interviewed Miss Ono in Lennon. You know, would you like to come on
who
the
are
show?
you? Yeah, are you
Yeah.
as cool as Ono?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Just come on my show. What is your affinity with that style, that era of music? You know, where Ono comes from, all that, like that 60s, early 70s vibe. Like, what's the draw?
It's
Because you sound like, when I've listened to your music,
Yeah.
like you have that voice, the vibe, the rhythms and everything. Like I
Yeah.
think it even sounds a couple songs I've heard. You did some secret recordings with Maddie Faulkner,
I
our
did.
amazing
I
producer,
did. Yeah,
and
they're
you
really
sound
good.
like David friggin' Bowie in some of the songs. I'm not
thank
kidding.
you.
Like, what is your?
This will
what
all
is
go
it?
to my head, by the way. I just think the best music that ever was made was from a time that was the best time, I think.
That's your ultimate time. Is that era?
It's the ultimate time. It's before everything was totally terrible.
Yeah.
Things were terrible, but people didn't know how terrible it was. And everything was
I feel
new
like it's just all been
again.
the same level of terrible. We just
Yeah,
have
it
have
has.
more info about how terrible it is
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean? Before the internet, you're like, things might be kind of bad, but we don't know all the bad
Hopeful.
stuff. Now I'm like, my phone tells me like, there's 50 dead people in
Yeah.
Indonesia. I'm like, oh, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah.
I needed that before breakfast. Like, this sucks.
Things were getting bad, and then that's when disco happened.
Yeah.
America went here.
And then, boom.
Start dancing.
Coke.
We're gonna distract you.
Yeah.
It did seem like a fun time to be. It just seemed like so many things happened in that era.
Yeah.
Like so many things changed.
Everything's changing. I mean, for me, it all starts. Basically, I guess my mom and my dad more into disco, but my mom really turned me on to like the Beatles and the Kinks,
And you love the Raspberries.
and I do love the Raspberries. Yeah, I do like the Raspberries a lot.
That's would you say that's your favorite band from that era?
The Raspberries. No, I do really love the Raspberries. Raspberries are interesting because they were around in the 70s, but they were one of the first acts to basically cop the British invasion style post.
Right,
You know,
like, oh, dude, we can do this too.
We can do this. Yeah, Eric Carmen is their main guy, and yeah, he's great.
Well, it's great having just such a love for an era like that, and I really feel like now that kind of stuff is popular again. Like,
it's
it
all
always-
so
it
hot.
it all gets
Yeah.
recycled.
It's on
It
a
is.
cycle, and
Yeah.
you know, and I think in that era, the music had so much more texture. It feels like, and you know, and not to
Yeah.
be cynical, because like, you know, obviously like all the music
we weren't
I'm-
there.
Yeah.
I'm not that old.
Yeah. And like, you know, the music I'm making is like all on synthesizers and, you know,
Yeah.
on the computer, but like, you know, there's a lack of that depth, like
Warmth,
sonically.
yeah.
Yeah, the warmth. Yes.
Something is definitely lost, and just in terms of how things are being recorded. I'm not like a total like purist when it comes to like analog. Ideally, I make demos on tape, like a tape recorder thing. But that's only really
Wait, what?
It's
What
only
is
to,
that?
It's only to limit myself, you know, because I get too like, you know, stuck on all the effects if I'm like
Yeah.
demoing. And then like this EP, I'm not gonna lie, like we used a lot of outboard gear, a lot of hard gear. What's the word even, Matt? But like
From the shadows.
But you know, at a certain point, you plug it through all these compressors, you plug it through all the tubes, but at the end of the day, it's still going into digital, and
Yeah.
it is going into Pro Tools, and they've gotten really close. And shout out to like companies like Eventide who are making amazing products.
So you're happy with this EP that you made? Like, everything about it.
Oh yeah,
Very cool.
Oh yeah, very happy with the sound. John dialed it in. I mean, it's just so fun working with someone who just
Did you
knows.
Did you for this album? You're like, hey, I want people to think of this artist when they hear this, or did you want to like, I want people to compare me to this artist, or what was kind of, I don't know, like what was
There's
something you
definitely
wanted?
there's always references happening, you know. like with Barbed Wire, I feel like that's kind of more anthemic.
Okay, cool.
So I was kind of thinking like, okay, this is sort of like my gay Bruce Springsteen song, you know?
Yes. Like, it's raining, man.
Yeah. Okay. But that was sort of the vibe there. And I did track it all in Jersey. So I was kind of,
Yeah, totally,
and John's
man.
a Brooklyn, Jersey guy. So I was like, okay, let's lean into that.
You have to, because it's freaking sweet that you would, that getting compared to something like that is amazing.
Yeah.
Which is, it's they're making the right call. They're making the right comparisons. This guy's a rock star.
Aw.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with leaning into your influences.
Yeah.
I think
Totally.
a lot of artists like kind of come down on themselves to be like, oh, like obviously I am influenced by this, but I don't want to make it seem like I am.
yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
You can't
like,
deny it. I mean, at this point, everything's been recycled.
Look at Tarantino. He blatantly just like he's like, I like this
Yeah.
movie. I'm gonna shoot a scene out
exactly
of this movie
these
in my
scenes.
movie.
You know, it's the ultimate. It's the ultimate kind of flattery. I think. You know, what's the saying? Like, good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not stealing like anything, but the essence
That we know of, we're just waiting
but,
for the articles
you know,
to come out. No, he's
no,
stolen nothing, people.
no,
He's stolen nothing.
no. But like, you know, the essence of things, you know, another track of mine, like on the EP, Find Out, you know, that's obviously a little more twangy. So I'm kind of leaning into those kinds of sounds there. I'm trying to think of some more references, like All I Want to Do, kind of a cool 80s vibe, Marshall Crenshaw.
So it sounds like you have a nice little mix of stuff, which is good. I mean, I think those are some of my favorite albums where I'm like, oh, there's a fast song, there's a slow song, there's a love song, there's a hate song. Yeah, sex song. I want all those songs. Is there a donut eating song? Because I love doing that.
They're actually all donut eating songs.
donut
Music to
eating
eat
songs.
donuts by.
Perfect. Sign me the hell up. Speaking of eating, with New York, known for their pizza and their slices, you're moving over to the West Coast. Are you going to miss those New York pies?
Yes. I miss them already.
I promise you there's plenty of good pizza here. Some would even say just as good. I will fight you over this.
Show me. Okay, a friend of mine did okay, I've had really good like wood-fired, small, personal style pizzas here.
No, we got pizzas by the slice here in Los Angeles. We'll take you.
It's
We're going to
too
go on a
limited.
date. We're going to drink some vino. I'm going
is
to take you
too-
to a slice shop.
the
I
vino
promise.
slice. I need it.
LA pizza feels too clean for me.
Yeah.
What, you
It-
want a
it
giant
feels-
rat walking off of the slices? You walk in the
Yes.
shop in New York? Like, no, I'm good.
It's the New York water, you know? It's the water that's coming
Oh, it's
from...
the water. Okay, keep saying it like
water,
an asshole.
Water.
Yeah, water.
Water. It's coming from upstate New York, and that's what makes our dough and our bagels and our pizza so good. No, I don't say pizza. Pizza's so good there. And I was excited to hear
That
that
makes sense.
you were telling me that Joe's is now here.
There's a couple Joe spots that popped up. So
I wonder if it's the same Joe's as in New York.
there's probably a class action lawsuit happening right now over
Yeah.
the name Joe's. But yeah, we got some Joe's over
If
here. We
it's-
got some good pizza, I
If
promise.
it's Joe's from New York, I'm going to go out on a limb right here and say Joe's Pizza is my favorite slice.
Oh, wow. Mark it down. Joe's is his Sam's
Yeah.
favorite
Okay.
slice.
And I wouldn't be alone in that, but it's the best.
Cool.
So,
Well,
yeah.
we'll take care of you.
I hope it's the same and it restores my faith.
I hope so.
Like,
We should all go and try it.
like
Yeah.
last
and
night
be
at
disappointed.
Dev is all like, F LA Pizza.
I'm attacking LA Pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like I will say Highland Park Bowl last night. That was the best pizza I've had since being in LA.
See,
They make them that like.
Can
those
Dev
are
come on our
pretty,
date?
those are
Because
pretty.
Yes,
he obviously
I
needs to
insist.
come to some pizza slice
All of
spots.
us.
I know. Okay.
Yes.
Enough about pizza. It's my favorite food. It's amazing. It's everything on a plate. You don't even need a plate. You just need the
You need
pizza.
another slice of pizza is your plate.
But then the bagels too, because so I'm a.
Nuh-uh.
You're not a bagel person.
I am a bagel.
yeah.
I'm a
He's
bagel.
Jewish. Of course he's a
You are.
bagel guy.
You are
What
a
is your go-to? What schmear are you going? What do you like?
Okay, I do like an everything. I like it sesame. I like an egg bagel.
Love, yes. Or do you do a meat on the egg bagel or just cheese egg bagel?
I'm vegetarian, turning pescatarian, and so I will have
Well,
some
emphasis on pesky.
pesca,
Yeah.
and I will have some lox.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I will do the whole lox, the
Very
onions,
cool.
the tomatoes, the capers.
I love all of it.
Let's
yeah.
make out before the
Please,
bagel.
let's kiss before
You
the
know,
bags.
That's all I'm saying. But also, if the bagel's fresh, you don't get it toasted. You
So
don't
that's
toast it.
I found out in this bagel
Yeah.
shop that I know about here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They do the same thing. They're like, you can toast it, but you're also an asshole. Don't get it toasted. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna listen to these guys for once. And I'm an idiot. I
Yeah.
toasted my bagel.
I mean,
Yeah.
you might kill me after this. So I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Do you remember a couple of years ago when
Here
all
we
of
go.
Twitter was like angry at us about what we do to bagels?
Oh God, I do.
So
I
for
remember
those of
this.
you for those of you
I
that
hate
are
this
unaware,
nasty.
Yeah.
we bread slice bagels. We
Oh,
bread
God.
slice them, so it's like so you get these like they're
There's
like,
an angry mob gathering
Oh
outside
my
the studio right
God.
now.
because like it's so much easier to dip. It's like you get these like little
But
like
what are
wedges
you dipping? What are you
into
doing
the
to
cream
them?
cheese if you don't have time
you-
to schmear.
Are you?
Who doesn't have time?
Are
If,
they
if you don't have time to schmear, did you even eat a bagel?
You're
And then-
turning bagels into chips, bagel chips.
No, it's there's.
No,
I mean, yeah,
That's
kinda,
the emphasis of dipping, right?
kinda, and then you don't.
Got
and then
him.
you're
Listen,
not.
listen.
you're not
Don't
getting
knock
the-
it. Don't
Got
knock
him.
it. I will say don't knock it till you try it. But,
But also don't effing try it.
But I'm aware it is chaotic behavior.
it's great.
What we do to those bagels.
Okay.
I'm aware.
Montreal, I will also go out. This is also I can't now go back to New York after I say this, but Montreal.
Yeah, seriously, you are not getting your stuff back out of your
I'm-
apartment
I'm
in New
sorry.
York. Yeah.
Montreal has the best bagels. Really.
Oh.
Yeah. They're thin.
Bum, bum, bum.
They're-
And they're thin.
They're thin.
Oh,
So,
that's good for beach season.
but they're so good. Anyways, bagels, pizza,
Bagels.
carbs.
We love them. We love
We
all
do
of them.
love.
We do love a good carb.
Speaking of love, you love the Raspberries. You love the '60s era style music.
Yeah.
All that inspires your music now today.
Yeah.
You were actually Sam. I don't know if you knew this, Dev. He lived probably a dream of anybody that's a music lover. You were actually on a tour of a band that remind me they got back together. This
Yeah,
band,
a
and you were
re-
the lead friggin' singer.
Yeah.
What happened?
It was that band, The Left Bank.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it was revived a couple of times once in 2012, and then the second time in 2015. And that second iteration was where I came onto the project. And I'm still working with the families, and it's actually I can now say this. We have and I've been a
Is
part
this
of
an
it.
exclusive?
It may be. There's
Boom.
a new
BetaWave exclusive.
there's a new Left Bank reissue coming out this month, the end of this month. Or
Wow.
sorry, not this month.
That's awesome.
February. Yeah, that's this month. February, at the end of February, and it's coming out on Omnivore Recordings. We're very excited.
And this is with you as
Well, I'm not on these recordings.
gotcha copy. Okay.
But I still manage the group and
Oh, awesome.
I still help out.
So you actually played some shows with these guys.
I did.
as the lead singer.
did.
What was that? Was that like this is the coolest thing I've ever done? This is
It was
not what I thought it was gonna be.
a huge honor to sing the songs. The frontman Steve Martin Caro, who we sadly lost 2020.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all of the guys from the band have passed away at this point.
Oh, no.
When I started in 2015, everyone was still there, and then by the
And then
time
you killed everyone? Well, that's
Oh
very
my
mean of you. No, I'm
goodness.
kidding. He did not do anything. Sam is innocent.
I tried
This is my band.
I really did try to save some of the members. And
It's a good movie
and
idea. I'm taking that.
Oh, that does not suck.
Wow.
Okay, bookmark it.
Wow, guys. No, but yeah, it was an honor to sing. I mean, to sing "Walk Away, Renee," and to have people. You're scared because you're being compared
To the people that made it.
the people that made it, and luckily we had their honor and their blessing for me to do it. And we still had George Cameron in the group, who was the original songwriter as well as the original drummer for a lot of the songs. But it was just such an honor. We got to play all across the East Coast, and after
Fun.
every
So
show,
fun.
every show, people coming up to me that were like, I saw the Left Bank in 1965, and I got to say, I closed my eyes, and it was like I was back in time.
I just got
You
goosebumps.
know?
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, there's something very special about that, whether, kind of I love the story of the kid who's doing the singing for Journey. Now I say kid, he's
Yeah.
probably older than me,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
was like, a complete out
That's
of
a great
nowhere
story.
and got to do that. And when your music is also influenced by that anyways, so it's like you're really just getting to kind of just like slide into those shoes.
Exactly. It was just a dream.
Well, I don't want to make it sound like you're like, oh, this was so easy, but you're probably like, you had such a love for this style of music. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
I can do this, guys. I feel confident in doing this.
Well, it was. And it was, I bumped into George on the street when I was living in the East Village on St. Mark's Place.
George who?
George Cameron, who was the drummer of the
sick.
band. And I had interviewed them in their first iteration when I was still in college and for my radio show. And so a couple years go by, that lineup breaks up. I run into George. I don't think he remembered me, but he was sweet enough to act and pretend like he did. We
He
get
smoked a lot of pot, man. Leave him alone.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't really,
Oh, yeah. Yes,
He
yes.
doesn't remember what his favorite bagel shop is,
Yeah.
much less who
Yeah,
interviewed
that's
him
right.
5 years ago.
But George being George, I said, George, can I take you out for a beer and let's talk, And so
So fun.
we went to St. Dimphna's, and which is a nice little Irish pub. And by the end of the conversation, I was like, oh, great. I was convinced the original lead singer was on board and that I was going to manage and maybe book them because I was doing that at the time as well. I was working behind the scenes. And I show up to the first rehearsal just to introduce myself, and they don't have a singer. And
Uh-oh, I know
I'm like,
somebody.
Yeah, so I'm like, you don't have a singer? Like, I don't know what to do here. And he's like, well, you can sing. Why don't you sing? And why don't you
my
try?
God.
So I played Pretty Ballerina and Walk Away Renee, and I brought my friend Finnegan
Did
Shanahan.
you black out? Were you so nervous? Like,
I was a little weird,
yeah, yeah.
But luckily, I've had some experience singing people's songs in front of them before. I had I tried out to be, I was asked to try out to be in the touring production of Hair, the musical.
Oh, sick.
And I had to sing, like, Let the Sun Shine In, Let the sun shine, in front of the guy who sang it and wrote it.
Oh, I'd be like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, Jim Rado.
Like, can you turn your chair around, please?
I mean,
No eye contact.
Granted, like, he invited me. Like, I met him at a party. He said, you got to come and try out for the show. I mean, and there he was, and I'm singing his song, his part in front of him. So, like,
So
that's
awesome.
That was a great experience for me to get that out of my system.
What is your favorite?
And I didn't get the part, but, whatever.
Screw those guys. They've really missed out. I can't imagine who would be better than you. What is your favorite? I feel like with your love with this style of music, you've interviewed Yoko Ono. You've been in Left Bank. Like, you know all these people. What is your kind of most standout or your favorite meet of one of these old rock stars? One of these guys from back in that guy or gal back in the day. Like, do you have one that sticks out?
I have a couple. On the subject of like what just happened, I'm thinking about Ronnie Spector, who we just lost.
Ugh,
You know,
She's a good one.
R.I.P.
yeah.
So I've had some interactions with her. I used to actually, when I was a booker, when I was an agent, I was her agent for a minute, and I was booking her, around the country, and I did get to meet her a couple times on a couple of occasions, and one occasion was the first time I met her. I was also working with the band The Zombies. It's the time of the season.
No reason to sing, Sam. We all know
Yeah.
the Zombies here.
And they had a new music video coming out. They had to promote a new record.
Right.
So we put on a music video release party, and we had like 60s people come out, and so we got Art Garfunkel from Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh my Lord.
And then we also got Ronnie Spector to come out.
Amazing.
And I don't know whose idea it was, but someone was thinking wouldn't it be fun if we sat Ronnie and Art Garfunkel together at the same table? And
they can both take naps on each other's shoulders. It'll be perfect.
yeah. So Ronnie Spector sits down at the table, and she comes back to my boss at the time, and she's like, I'm not sitting with no Art Garfunkel.
Art Garfunkel can screw himself. No
And
way.
she-
Why?
and she-
Did they hate each other? What happened?
I don't know. I don't know if there was anything
Spill
there.
the tea, Sam.
I don't know this backstory, if there was some interaction between them back in the day, but she was like too cool for school, and
Wow.
and she honestly, rightfully so. She's fucking Ronnie Spector.
Yeah.
So she came. She had a good time. She was like, I came for as a favor, but I'm gonna.
She actually just hovered above everybody, right above the table. I will sit next to no one.
She
I
just
will
levitated.
fly. Yeah, levitated.
She could have, but she was. I mean, that was amazing to see the diva come out.
Oh yeah.
Then I did get to I got the chance to see her Christmas special, which she had of course, the Ronettes.
I love a Christmas special.
It was so sweet, and the Ronettes had a ton of Christmas songs that
Fun.
Phil Spector, trigger warning, he wrote, and for the groups. But so I went backstage, and there I got to really have some words with her. And she was just so generous with her time and really like a classy lady, like such showbiz.
It's cool when you can see both sides.
Yeah.
Like, you got the classy lady,
Yeah.
but then you got to see the fire come
Yeah,
out. Like there's something different about experiencing that energy in person versus when you hear stories.
It's so
like,
sweet. And that night she signed the set list for me and kissed it, and I have her lipstick on it.
Oh my
And
God.
it says, Sam, be my baby, love Ronnie.
That's so special.
That's
yeah,
iconic.
Yeah.
I think the moral of the story and of Sam Kogan in general, shoot your shot, people.
Wow, yeah.
Like,
just ask.
shoot your shot.
Just ask.
Oh, especially if you're like an actual fan of someone's work,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
go up, be respectful. You know what I mean? Like this idiot that just got punched by Kanye. You know what I mean in the parking lot. Like Kanye's
Yeah.
obviously has his. I mean, yay,
But-
sorry, yay. But like he came up 3 a.m. The guy's like, "Can I get an autograph?" Kanye's like, "No, I'm not doing pictures and autographs right now." And then he's like,
Yeah.
he said something about his family, and then he got punched. I
Yeah.
punched the
Which
guy in the
is-
face too. He's an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
go up, be respectful. If they don't want to talk to you, then leave. But at least go and say hi. Just
Yeah,
don't be
say
crazy.
say hi. Yeah, like I've since I've moved to LA, like I don't ask celebrities for pictures,
Never.
anymore, and so many more of them are just like, yeah, we'll appreciate more if you just want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
They can tell you
Be
appreciate
respectful and
them,
ask
you know?
for permission. You know what I mean? Like, just be like, "Hey, is this
Yeah.
cool if I talk to you for 2 seconds?"
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that happened at the Soho warehouse, right? Or something. I think that incident you're describing.
Yeah, that was in LA at a nightclub at 3 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Yeah.
He's probably punched multiple people.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Don't sue us, thanks.
Yeah. No, but you're right. You just, you got to be cool. Don't put the phone out. I was actually at a party recently, and it was a music show. It was like a little showcase. And who sits down next to me? Beck. And I just actually worked with his engineer. So I just turned to him and say, "Oh, hey, like I just worked with, so-and-so." And then we just started talking, and we were just hanging the whole night, and we even danced, and it was just
That's
a really
awesome.
awesome moment. And he's so cool. And Beck, if you hear this, like,
Okay.
yo,
Yeah,
hey,
look at this
let's
guy.
hang.
Okay, showing the verifieds. Yeah, I danced with Beck.
Yeah, we're gonna have Beck on the show next episode.
Yeah,
we
That's
can
our
get
next
us Beck,
guest.
right?
Surprise!
He's around. He's around.
Surprise!
He's around. But yeah, just be cool.
Just be cool, man. Just be lava. Just flow,
But
baby.
I couldn't tell you how I would react if I did meet like.
Yeah, is there anybody you would like fanboy over, like if they walked in?
that
like,
you just couldn't handle it.
yeah,
like-
is there anybody that would do that for you?
McCartney, yeah, Paul McCartney.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I could
Maybe
see that.
now I think I could handle it.
I think you're cool. Yeah, you're cool enough. I think you would be okay. You might like stutter like
I
your
would
speech or
stutter.
something. Yeah, you'd be like, "Hi, Paul." Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's someone, I don't know. If Bowie was still around, he's someone I would have been a little nervous.
Totally,
to meet.
yeah. I agree that like I think a Bowie I would freak out. Like a Paul McCartney, I think I could keep it together. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care as much about actors as I do musicians. I would
Yeah.
I would end up
Same.
freaking out more.
It would
Who would you
be-
freak out about, Dev?
I mean, definitely Prince. I don't
Oh my
know.
God.
I don't know if I could get a word out. I don't know if that'd happen. And then and Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey
Oh,
would he
yeah.
would get me. Like he's a big influence.
I would love
of
to
mine,
meet
like,
Jim.
I
yeah.
love
That
Jim
would just
Carrey.
that
I
would
love
be
him.
that'd be a tough one to be cool.
We'll have to
through.
do all of our favorite Jim Carrey movies, top 5. Another podcast.
I just
Another podcast.
on my radio show, on my show called Lavender Hour.
Oh my gosh, yes. So Sam does Lavender Hour on K-Piss
K-Piss FM.
FM.
which
and-
is amazing.
Wait,
Yeah.
I love the name. It's hilarious. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it for the last year since COVID, and I've been trying to keep it every week, and it's been so far so good.
Fun. I went on and
Yeah.
listened one minute. I did a little digging on you.
Yeah.
And it's a fun. He does interviews. He plays music, and it's awesome. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And
no,
where can people find that if they want to listen?
they can go onto It's on the archive site, and it's kpiss.fm.
Listen to that smooth radio voice.
And you can type in Sam Kogon Lavender Hour, and you'll find all of the previously recorded
smooth
shows.
as butter.
Yeah. But I actually just had a friend of mine on who was a writer for, at one point, in Living Color. And so he was talking about
Love
he was
it.
talking about Jim Carrey
Love
and
it.
just early days, and yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Dang, I'm gonna have to take a listen to that.
Yeah, you
one.
should.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
should
a
check
good
it
one,
out.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, dude, Sam, thank you so much for joining us. I mean,
Thank
I want to
you.
gab all freaking
I know
afternoon.
we
but
could talk all day.
This guy has places to go, appointments to look at.
You're melting me right now. You're too cool, and I
feel like
literally
I'm
cannot
levitating.
handle
Like
it.
seriously, this was awesome,
Thank
man.
you so much, and it's a pleasure. Let's have this happen again. Come on to my radio show. That would be
Do
fun.
not tease me. I
Yeah.
will do it.
Let's
We'll do it.
Let's get you on K-Piss.
K-Piss.
do
Coming
it.
at you.
I think
live.
Dan is destined for.
I just
K-Piss.
I just
I
really
do
want
too.
to do it.
That has
I
been
do
your
too.
destiny.
Oh my goodness, dreams are made.
Where can the people find you on social media so they can keep up and listen to some of the new music?
Yeah, you can find me on everything except TikTok, and maybe that will change.
We're
but,
gonna need you to be on the
Sam Kogon at Sam Kogon Kogon, and I'm on Instagram. I'm on Spotify, but you can buy my CDs directly on Bandcamp
Yeah, from your website, right? Yeah.
from my website too,
Perfect.
samkogan.com.
And make sure you check out his new single, Barbed Wire, just came out, and then the new album, April 1st.
Yes. Woo! Thanks, guys.
So excited.
So
I
excited.
am Music Man Dan, coming from you at BetaWave Studios. This is Breaking Wave.
And you can find me at _Daddy Disco on Twitter and Instagram. This has been your boy DeVaughn Taylor, and stay wavy, y'all.
Love you lots. Thanks again, Sam.
Thanks so much. Peace and love.
Woo!